So, Emily.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm wondering, can you talk a little bit about the physicality of this role, and how did you prepare, and also, how did you prepare for this role?
I worked on the physical aspect of it with local DEA, FBI agents, all the tactical training, the weapons training, and I learned all that SWAT team assault and the choreography of that. And then we had Delta Force guys, and there was just a lot of dudes, masculine dudes teaching you how to work a gun. And then on the internal side, I spoke to 4 women in the FBI, and that was astonishingly helpful for me because, you really understand what that lifestyle is. This film takes place over 3 days, but I just needed to know who she was before those 3 days. And so I was very nosy. I asked them all kinds of questions, and they were so honest. It was, you realize how taxing and all-consuming this kind of work is.
It's kind of interesting because you are in a world of men, and a very kind of physical and brutal world, and you sort of expect the character to maybe become the hero, the action star, but that's not what happens. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I never wanted her to be butch and sort of a classic action heroine. I think actually she is someone who is strong at the beginning of the film, and then she kind of disintegrates throughout the course of the film. And I think as a guy would in her position, it's not just because she's a girl, it's just because she comes from a certain world and she's thrust into a world that's incoherent to her and one that she disagrees with and resents. And she represents morality in this amoral world.
Well, why do you think she continues? What is... Because she takes a lot of risks and she, is kind of goes along with things, but what is it that's so compelling for her?
I think there's an intrigue in the way they go about business. I think she realizes that by doing it her way, she's scratching the surface, but at least she can go to sleep at night knowing she's doing it the right way. And the way they're doing it seems to be getting to the heart of the issue, but in the most brutal and violent way. So it's complicated for her.
Well, she's sort of becoming, all of them are becoming like the people that they're trying to bring down. So,
yeah.
But at the same time, maybe that's what it takes.
Well, that's what it poses to the audience. I mean, I don't think it's a film that offers a solution. I don't think it's a film that says that there's a right way. I think it asks the audience to question their own moral compass.
And she goes in there, I mean, this is almost like not an FBI sting. This is like the military. It felt
Yeah,
like
this
a war
is the
zone.
military. She finds herself in the war zone, and, I think we all talk about ISIS every day, and yet this war on drugs is right at the border, and we never talk about it, and it's just as brutal and just as violent and bigger in number. You could transplant this world in Mexico and Juarez, and you could put it in the Middle East, and you're talking about the same situation, same kind of lawless land.
It feels kind of hopeless.
It does feel hopeless, but I think she represents hope. I think her decision that she makes at the end is that she actually is not a wolf, and that's okay. I don't think she wants to be one.
And, in terms of being in this situation where she doesn't have a lot of the answers, like that disorientation that she feels, how did you get into that state?
Well, I think, you're working with very intense scenes. You're also working with great actors who are not giving you any information whatsoever. And so I felt, there were times where I really felt as myself just infuriated by the lack of information that I was getting. And it was a very transporting film in that way. It sort of surpassed acting sometimes.
And just in terms of, what you hope that audiences, when they go see this movie, what is it that you hope that they actually take from it?
I want them to discuss it. I want this film to creep under people's skin and for it to stay with them. And you want it to be the water cooler movie, that people ask themselves some tough questions, and I think it should create a stir and shed some light on this war on drugs that we never hear about. I'm done? You're done. Ah! It's a miracle!